Hi everybody, my name is Robin and welcome to my channel Bird's Eye Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new here, then welcome. I hope you are here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. And if you are returning, then still welcome. You are clearly here because you have a love of cross stitch like I do. Today is January 1st, 2024. My favorite day of the year is always January 1st. I feel like it is the day of new beginnings, even though every day of the year could be your new beginning. I know this, but I don't know, January 1 just, it feels like a good new beginning day. So I'm off work today. You know that on a day that I am off work, then especially if it's a Monday, if I get a Monday off, that's fantastic. And that means that I'm probably going to be on here filming a Flosstube video and connecting with all of you. On top of that, one of my New Year's resolutions has to do with filming and being more present on Flosstube because I miss watching the videos and filming the videos and all of that. And so I put that on the top of my New Year's resolution goal. And kind of like going to the gym, right? You know, you're like, I want to go to the gym more. And so on the 1st, you're usually at the gym doing the thing. So I am here on Flosstube doing the thing. So here we go. I have got a whole bunch of things to show you today. I have a little bit about what I've been working on, but what I've been working on is kind of mixed in with the plans. So I've got a few things to show you, well, a lot of things to show you, but what I've been working on, I'm going to go over my plans for the month of January, as well as go over the pieces that I have pulled that are my focus pieces for the year of 2024. So before I get started, I'll pull my little planner thing and get a quick sip of coffee. I'm either catching a cold or a change of season, I don't know. So I did bring some coffee because, you know, season is changing. I turned on my my heater for the first time today. Today is January 1 and I just turned my heater on, but my house finally dipped to 59 degrees, which for me is absolutely freezing. So kick that heater on, but I don't know. I've got sore throat or something. Should be fine, but coffee is my friend. And it's in a cute white mug, one of my favorites, so. Okay. The pile is so high that I barely even have to bend down to pick this up, just so you know. Anyway, so I have 2 planners going, well, 2 and like a little cross stitch log thing, but I've got 2 main planners going for the month of for the year of 2024. My main cross stitch planner is this one that I got. It's just a happy planner. I've got it on sale. It's pretty. I may have shown this in a previous video, I'm not sure. But I like that it says breathe in all the possibility that today holds, right? Very optimistic, very pretty flowers. I am flipping to my January overview here. Looks like this. Lots of planning. So I'm going to use this a little bit as my template to kind of talk about all the things that I'm going to be doing both this month and this year. The only thing I don't have written down in here are the WIPs that I am doing for, I joined the Facebook group, WIP Warriors, I believe is what it's called. So I joined WIP Warriors. I was going to do the road trip, but it's a lot. It's a lot to try to keep up with, and it's amazing. Like, the people who created that group are extremely creative, but I just know that I would be biting off way more than I could chew to even go down that path. So I joined WIP Warriors and I'm going to be participating. I chose the 24 and 24. So in WIP Warriors, you have a few different options of things that you can join as. You can have the no new starts or the 24 and 24, meaning you can only have 24 active WIPs at any given time. Or it's like SWEE or something, like stitch what you want when you want, which is just stitch what you want, right? But I chose the 24 and 24 because if I decide to do Year of WIPs, which I'm on your WIP's Facebook group because I love it and I love the people. But so far, every time I do Year of WIPs, whatever I put on there, I swear I just don't touch it. So maybe if I don't call it Year of WIPs, but it kind of is, maybe it will work. We'll see. But anyway, if I wanted to, I could easily swap things in and out. So I'm going to show you those. I don't have all 24 projects here because a few of them are new starts. And so I had to leave room in that grouping for my new starts. But I'm going to show you the ones that I have already started sitting here, kind of show you where I'm at, what I'm going to work on, and then which ones I'm working on this month, because this month is Baringo Magazine Monthly Challenge. Every year in January, we have Baringo, which along with AB Singo is pretty much everybody's favorite, favorite months of our group. So Magazine Monthly Challenge, it is the Facebook group that I run with Carolyn Zook, Zook Stitch. The Baringo was kind of her brainchild originally before we got started, where we have 25 different prompts and you get to choose the pieces that fit each prompt. And then Carolyn pulls the number, like tonight, she'll pull the number for what you stitch on tomorrow, right? So she pulls a number every night and you stitch either 1 hour or 100 stitches on the piece that coincides with that number. If you finish it, you get to mark it off your board. You make your own board. So you can see she pulled number 3 last night. I've already done that one, so I marked it off right there. So anyway, I'll be putting a lot of work into pretty much all of these pieces during Baringo, which is one thing that I love about this challenge in the month of January. It allows you to touch a whole lot of things. So most of these coincide, if not all of these coincide to at least one stitching prompt, either on Baringo or on our acrostic. All of that made sense in my head. Hopefully you're still with me. I'll now show you some stitching. All right, so the main thing that I've been working on over the last couple of weeks is actually going to be a Christmas present for a very close friend. I do not think that she watches this Flosstube channel. I'm not even sure she knows I have a Flosstube channel, but if you are watching, her name is Mallory, then stop watching because I don't want you to see this because it's not done yet. It will 100% be done this week because Christmas was like 2 weeks ago, but it'll be finished this week. So this is where I've been putting the majority of my energy over the last couple of weeks because, well, I saw this pattern and fell in love with it for her and it was very close to Christmas. So I did try, but I didn't quite make it on time. A little over halfway done now. But this is a piece that I got off of Etsy. I can't show you what it's going to look like because I didn't print out the cover photo. I just printed out the design. But it doesn't even really have a name. It's just like Snarky Cross Stitch or something by Hoop Modern Stitch on Etsy. I'd never stitched anything from them before, but so far it's turning out really cute. Show you this. It does have a swear word in it. I'm not going to say it, but it's in there. Here we go. It looks like this. So because this person is a very close friend, but also a work friend, my plan is this is going to continue into a circle, right? So I'm going to finish off these flowers. You can see that I had to do some frogging here, so I got to clean this up a little bit and then I'll connect these two properly. But anyway, my plan is I'm going to get some magnets, just the little flat, I already got them, the little flat black magnets, and I cut them so I can put a magnet in front of this word. Kind of like a needle minder, right? It'll be like a black box. Now, that is perfect because her and I both work in a field where we deal with redaction of all kinds of things. So it's almost like I'm going to redact this word so she can put it at her desk without being offensive. So hopefully it goes over well. This will be finished here very shortly. I will take a short video of this just in case I don't film before I have this finished. That way you guys can see it when it's done. The plan is, like I say, I just have the rest of this circle here, which I say just, but it will probably take just a little bit of time. So connect these guys, finish the circle, and then it's just going to be a simple hoop finish because it's a nice little circle there. So this is being stitched on, what is this? It is 18 count Aida from Fox and Rabbit Fabric of the Month Club. I got it from Stitchy. And the color is Flannel Flower. So the color is actually coming across pretty good. It's just it's a nice cream. Very basic, but perfect for this type of a piece. All right. Okay, so the next thing that I was working on, and this is going to be the piece that I use for my 25/7 piece for the month of January. I was going to use it last month, but to be honest, between Christmas and prepping for the New Year's and family and all of those things, just no stitching occurred. No stitching occurred. Sorry, I was searching around because I didn't see the actual cross stitch piece. I found the cross stitch bag, but I didn't see the piece, but I found it. So anyway, I was going to use this piece for 25/7 in December, but when I looked at my cross stitch tracker, I only stitched, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 nights the entire month, and so it just didn't happen, which is okay. I mean, life, family, all good things. It's what it is. So anyway, this is the Blue Flowers Magpie in the Moon. Looks like this. This will be the focus piece for January. So roughly 30 minutes a night. And we are here. This will be a really nice piece for the ginormous bird wall. So we got that there. I've got, you know, fill in here, the tail, the rest of this piece with the wood and the flowers. And then, yeah, I'm doing everything on this piece. So there's also a moon camping out in there. But I actually feel if I pull this piece out and I work on it for 25 minutes every day, this is a fairly quick stitch. So I'm hoping that I can get this one finished by the end of the month. If I finish early, then I want to get it framed, and that will still count as stitching time for me. So looks like that. This is also one of the pieces that I have pegged for the 24 and 24. So right now it's holding a spot of one of my 24 WIPs, but because I'm hoping to finish it this month, then that will already be one that is gone and a place that I can fill with one of my mini WIPs sitting over here in my closet. So that is that. Let's see, beyond the WIP Warrior group and of course Magazine Monthly Challenge, just because it's the first of the year, so I like to talk about plans too. The only other things that I am really joining in on or participating in over this next year, besides regular SALs and things like that, is I'm joining in on the Garand Stitchery, how they have the designer focus. So if I have a piece from that designer, then I'm going to pull that piece out or start that piece as part of their designer focus. And then, of course, there's 25/7, Cross Stitch 25/7, which is the Facebook group that was created by Melanie Watkins. Then I'm doing a version of Stitch from Stash. So I'm on the Stitch from Stash Facebook group. My budget is $10 a month. I am part of 3 Fabric of the Month clubs. So I get Fabric of the Month from Garand Stitchery, and I get Fabric of the Month. I get it from one other place. It's not Color and Cotton. It's the one that used to do, or maybe I think they still do them, the Friday night fight nights. So whenever I get that one in the mail again and I go to show it next month, I'll remember the name of them. But anyway, I get 2 pieces of fabric from that cross stitch group, or I'm sorry, from that fabric dyer. So I'm already getting a bunch of fabric. I'm not a part of any of the chart of the months or any of the floss of the month groups because I already have a bunch of floss. And I have kitted up a number of projects in preparation for this that I'm starting in 2024. So in theory, I should be good. Now, when I say that it's my version of Stitch from Stash, I say that because if I come across a chart or maybe one of the fun boxes or something like that, if it is a chart that is a limited edition, then I'm going to pick it up if it's something that I want to stitch, because if it's a limited edition, I feel like I'm not gonna be able to get it later versus everything else that I can probably find it later or find it on eBay fairly simply. But if I really love it and it's a limited release or something like that, then I'm not gonna count that as my Stitch from Stash. But I am gonna track it just so I can get a better grasp of, what I'm spending on this hobby and all that. So Stitch from Stash, Cross Stitch 25/7, the Designer Focus, Magazine Monthly Challenge, which is my number 1. And then the Year of WIPs. I'm just going to join in on one of their challenges every month. They offer a whole bunch of them, but I'm going to join in on one of them so I can stay an active member and just work. I'm really just using that as a place to hold my 24 pieces. So, all right, next up. Next up, I'm going to go through what I'm going to be working on for the Magazine Monthly Challenge acrostic. So our acrostic this month, the theme is To Grandmother's House We Go, and then the acrostic is sleigh. So, and that's sleigh, like a sleigh that you ride to grandmother's house, not like what my teenager says, and sleigh all day or sleigh, or I'm not even sure how they use that, but sleigh as in the sleigh that you ride, maybe to grandmother's house. So for Magazine Monthly Challenge, if you're not part of it, I'm sure that I think everyone that subscribes to my channel probably subscribes to Carolyn's channel, but just in case you don't know what that is, Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group, every month we do an acrostic where you can, it's really open to whatever you want to do. So we have the acrostic, you can make it fit with whatever pieces you want to stitch, and we have a theme. Again, you can make that work. You can stitch from magazines or stitch regular projects, new starts, full coverages, whatever you want to do. As long as you're there, whatever you want to do. Most people choose a magazine piece for the theme, and then they choose WIPs and whatnot for the acrostic. That's what I normally do. This month I didn't, just because the theme fit one of my new starts so perfectly. So I don't have that one to show you because I haven't started it yet, and to be honest, it's still in the living room in my new start pile, but you'll see it this month. So my theme piece is going to be the sled from Mirabilia. I fell in love with the Santa and the reindeer from Mirabilia at one of my recent cross stitch retreats, and so I picked up the whole set. I didn't kit them all up, I just picked up the chart so I would have them, but I did fully kit up the sleigh, and I'm starting with the sleigh because it's an attainable goal, right? It's a smaller one compared to the reindeer and the Santa, and I feel like it's something that I could stitch on and actually finish in the next few months. Okay, maybe the next 6 months, but at least I could have one of them finished throughout the year. But it's literally a sleigh, so I use that for my my theme. So I'll do 4 hours on that piece during this month. Then the acrostic sleigh, S-L-E-I-G-H. I'll show you what I'm going to be stitching for those items here. Okay, I did not put these in order. So for the eye, I am going to be, hopefully, well, it won't be a finish, but I will be stitching on Temperature Tree from Stitching Mommy. I started this many years ago, and the reason that I'm using it for the letter I in the acrostic is the I stands for I told you so, because I had numerous friends when I said I wanted to stitch a temperature tree tell me that that might not be the best idea because I might get bored. Just, that's my personality, it is what it is, right? But I was like, it's a tree and it's a temperature tree and I want to do it. Well, I did finish it, but I am here. So this is also the year that in my own personal life, I had a lot going on, right? I mean, everybody has a lot going on, but you could see where I had all of the leaves up in here. I have January, February, March, April. I think I moved out in May. This is the year that I moved out and then eventually went through a divorce. And so my friend Carolyn actually had the great idea of saying, instead of focusing on doing all of these leaves and trying to get caught up, right? Instead, why not leave it just like this, but just finish up the branches? And That might sound depressing, but it's truly not. It's truly not at all. But it would be a really nice piece to show, like, this was the whole idea of a temperature tree is like a stamp in time. And so this would really be like a stamp in my life. You know, this was what was occurring that year, and it's what it looks like. So that also means it will be a much quicker finish because I just have a bunch of branches to finish. So I'll be working on this. I do 4 hours for my theme, and then I do 2 hours for each letter in the acrostic. So I'll be putting in 2 hours on this. 2 hours is not enough time to finish all of these branches, but you know, we'll see what this month holds, because it's by far the simplest piece that I have to work on, because it's just one color and it's just some quick branches. So that is my eye. Next up in my pile next to me here is Home Sweet Haunted Home. I am using this for the letter G in sleigh. And again, you get to get creative with what you choose. I chose this for G because, why did I choose this for G? I wrote down the word Gary for Garan. Either it reminded me of Garan Stitchery because it's Halloween. I know that I kitted the whole thing up from stuff from Garan Stitchery. I think it's because it reminded me of Gary, even though it does not have, you know, the Frankenstein guy or anything like that. I don't stitch a whole lot of Halloween, so when I bought all the stuff for this piece, I also bought the Frankenstein sampler, as well as the Frankenstein piece from the Garan Retreat. And so I kind of bought them all three together just because I was in a good Halloween spirit, I suppose. And so it just reminded me of Gary. So this is what it will eventually look like, kind of, sort of. I pulled stuff from my stash for this. And obviously this is a magazine piece. It's from the 2023 Cross Stitch Halloween ornament. I worked on this while I was at a retreat, so you'd think I got more done, but I didn't get a whole heck of a lot done, but that's okay. So I'm stitching this on a piece of Be Stitch Me fabric. Be Stitch Me is the one I'm part of the Fabric of the Month Club in. And the color is Dusty Cottage. It's a 16 count Aida. Just folding it so I can see it better. I am currently here. I worked on the moon. You can kind of tell, you can see it better in person, but there is a dusty cloud right here. So I thought about changing the color of the cloud so they stood out more, but to be honest, in the photo, they really blend in. That's kind of the point. So I'm gonna leave it. And like I said, I can see it in person, so I'm good with that piece. But it looks like this. So that will be G. So it's gonna get 2 hours worth of work over this next month. All right, next up is an extremely colorful piece. So, am I doing this for one? Yes. So for my letter E in sleigh, I am doing Owl Forest embroideries, autumn flowers or something like that. I am using it for E because of the word embroidery and Owl Forest embroidery. Yes, it's called Autumn Flowers. Will look something similar to this, but I'm doing different fabric. So mine, let's pull out all this stuff here. Mine currently looks like, this is a huge piece of fabric, way bigger than what I need for this piece, but that's okay. Better too big than too small, right? And I can always cut it down. So we are here, and you can see, this is one of my, sorry, it's a little bit folded, but it's been tucked away. It's a little better. I love this piece so much. It is so pretty. Lots and lots and lots of color changes. However, 100% worth it. So I'm stitching this piece on piece of fabric by Mystic Fabrics. Sorry, I keep looking down today because I just have so much sitting out around me on this tiny little table that's the only place that I have to look right now. So it's Grand Stitcheries Mystic Fabric. The color is cocoa and it's a 36 count linen. And this is a fat half, so yeah, giant piece of fabric. But I really liked it for this piece and I can always cut it down. All right, last but not least is a piece that I am using for the S and the L. Yes, the S and the L for sleigh. The last one that I can't show you one of them because it's a Haid and it's giant and it's sitting next to my new starts because I put it on the frame this morning. So, but that also means you're gonna see it on the next video. So that's exciting. But anyway, so I'm going to do Jack Frost Tree Farm by Little House Needleworks. I'm doing all of these blocks, but I'm still working on the first block. It will look like this. It will get 2 hours. This piece as a whole is also on my Year of WIPs, 24 and 24. I'll call it a board, but it's a photo album. I'm here, so yeah, there we go. Looks like this. And I am looking. Okay, so I already forgot because I actually finished this at the end of November and it's been a month. Oh no, I'm almost finished. I have a couple snowflakes, or is this done? Okay, just kidding. This one is finished and I have the next block. Okay, so the next block is pulled and sitting underneath the pattern I just showed you. So I should have started with, I have a finish since my last one. It was Jack Frost Tree Farm, block number 1. So I am now starting in on block number 2. 2 hours, and it uses all basically the same thread, the same floss, all of that. It's just a different pattern. So you will see as I show you this giant pile here, a lot of the pieces that I chose for my 24 and 24 are actually, I'll call them BAPs, right? The big ass pieces, because there are a lot of small patterns that are done in blocks typically that I put onto one piece of fabric. Now, I know it's not part of the official rule for Year of WIPs, but for myself, and you know, you do what you want to do there, right? I'm not going for any prizes or anything like that. So if I finish a square, then for me that counts as a finish for Stitch from Stash because it's its own pattern. And then if I decide, because maybe I have too many things going, I have more than 24, which I don't think I actually will, but if I feel like I need to throw another one into that mix and I don't have any more smaller ones I can finish, then if I finish that block, then I'm going to swap it out. So that's why I chose all of these giant pieces. But I did choose this one. I forgot that I finished it. That's exciting. This is the finish, but I am now starting on block number 2. And that will get 4 hours because it's 2 letters. Okay, so that was the acrostic. And for Bringo, so Carolyn called our first letter last night, and the first number was number 3, which happened to be a new start or WIP of your choice. So pretty darn perfect for the beginning of the year because it's basically stitch whatever the heck you want, right? The piece that I actually originally had pulled for that was a new start. It was going to be the Mira sled. However, because I've been working on that Christmas present, I swapped it. I did that like a week ago because I knew that I wasn't going to be done. And so I figured if I finish that piece before she called that number, then I could just swap the Mira sled back in, right? No big deal there. So anyway, I still have to start my Mira sled now. That's okay. All right, so the rest of the pieces that I have already started that are going to be worked on throughout this next year. These ones probably won't be done this month, but I'll take it back. A lot of them are within my Bringo, but it's just 1 hour worth. But they're all going to get some type of focus throughout this next year, and the hope is to get quite a few finishes. So I'm going to move some piles around here so I can access them easier. Okay. All right, in no particular order. This is in my Garon bag with Peter Pan. Okay, this piece you all have seen quite a bit. I don't know what all the fabrics are and whatnot. So when I'm trying a new thing this year with my goals, just so I don't get overwhelmed and just stop doing them, right? Like people do, like I do. I'm making them a lot more attainable, right? So in all the different areas of whatever my goal is, right? I'm breaking it down to smaller, more attainable goals, right? Like I do at work. So figure let's try that for my personal life too, see how it works. So for cross stitch, what I'm gonna really be focusing on this month, besides filming, of course, is I need to organize my WIPs. So I saw Carolyn does this and a lot of other people do this too, very basic, right? I'm gonna get my note cards, which I already own, and I'm gonna spend some time each night as I pick up a piece. I'm going to write on the note card. If I know when I started it, I'm gonna put that on there, you know, what I'm stitching with, what I'm stitching on, any conversions, things like that. Just so I have it on the note card so that when I am filming, I can be more organized and I can say, this is what it is, right? Then I can also take that note card at the end, and after I frame it or something like that, I can put it in the back and it would be a good memory of here's what it is, here's how I did it, and any other fun things I feel like putting on the note card, right? Anyway, don't have them done yet, but you will see me using them over this next video. This one is, let's see, New Year in the Village by Alessandra Adelaide. Will one day look something similar to this. I know this piece was stitched on a piece of Storm fabric by Fabrics by Stephanie. And this one is near a finish. Let me just try to fold this thing a smidge. It's big. Okay, looks like this. Oh, too much folding, too much folding. There we go. It's like the Whoville houses, right? So with the exception of the fireworks, I have finished this entire side. I still need to add the sparkly silver firework to that blue gold one and add some beads, but all of those houses are done, which means all I have left is, it's really just, well, I'll show you on the pattern here. Look, I just have this little grouping and this big firework. I say little grouping, there's actually a lot of stitches in these houses, but still totally attainable. This can happen this year. I started this was my New Year, New Start 3 years ago. It sat for a really long time. It's been pulled out for a couple of prompts here and there, but it hasn't gotten a whole lot of dedicated love. So the time is coming. These guys and firework. And I just love this fabric so much. Every time I take it out, it makes me want to stitch on it just because it's sparkly. But the Fabrics by Stephanie, for some reason, even her sparkly fabric is really simple to stitch on. I'm not sure what the difference is, but it's much easier to stitch on. All right, the next one that I pulled, this one, I don't know if it'll get finished this year, but I want it to get a lot of progress because it doesn't have a lot of progress. It's barely started, but I do love it. So this is Sunset by Rosewood Manor. I started this for a mania way back in the day. I noticed that a lot of the pieces I pulled are on blue fabrics, which is kind of funny. Okay. I am not sure where I am. Here we are. Huge piece. I have done that much. So yeah. I have a long ways to go, right? I've done the top little diamonds. They're beautiful though. Absolutely beautiful. There's so many colors. So each of these diamonds has 2 colors in it. And it's just for a few stitches. So a lot of starting and stopping, but it will be well worth it in the end. So I have this one on the board. It will get some dedicated stitching this year. I highly doubt it's going to get a finish because I have some big pieces. I have some big goals and some big pieces this year. At least in my personal life, stitching is one of the main things that I'm focusing on for the year in general, just because, well, I love it. I want to get back into it. So I have a lot of big goals. This is a big goal. 2025 probably to finish at the earliest. All right, next one up. Sorry for all the zippering. This one is somewhat close to a finish. This is an attainable goal, so looking to finish this one this year. It is by, is it Hindsight, something like that. It's Scatter Kindness. Looks like this. I am. These have not seen the light of day in a while. It's kind of like a WIP parade that I didn't press anything for. Like I didn't iron it or prep it at all, right? There we go. Okay. We are here. So I almost have the words done. So all that I actually have left, I say all, but this is going to take a minute, right? But is just these, I have all of these dandelions to do here. But at least the words are just about done. So I have this one down as a finish for this next year. I don't know what I'm going to do with this piece when I'm done. I love dandelions. I love the phrase, right? Scatter kindness is a really, dandelions do remind me of that, right? You blow on them, you make a wish, and it's nice to think of, instead of wishing for things, instead you're wishing that they fall on somebody and that some kindness would scatter around. So I like the idea of it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it just yet. Maybe hang it in the living room. I don't know. But I think I can finish it this year. Okay, next one up. It's another one that's in blue. I must have been really inspired by the color blue, whatever year I started some of these. Okay, this is Medieval Pheasant Tapestry. Looks like this. I am doing a Stitch from Stash color conversion, so I am just trying to find different colors that I have in my own stash that match what they have here. So I am here. Have a ways to go. The colors that I've used so far have all been from the Garan Stitchery Floss of the Month Club. I was part of it when they were the Cottage Garden threads, these. So I have Cottage Garden threads pulled for almost this entire piece. So it's an interesting conversion, but they're fairly close. I did not convert the pheasants because that's like the highlight of the piece. And I really want to keep those colors intact. But as far as like the border goes and, you know, the trees and things like that, I am using the Cottage Garden threads for all of those. I don't know if I'm going to get that finished this next year. There's actually a lot of stitching for that, but at least it will get some good work done on it. Oh goodness. Guys, this pile is not shrinking. So this might be like an hour-long video. I'm just warning you right now. So anyway. All right, next up is The Blue Flower by Janine McGowan, Spring Forest Scrapbook Part 2. I own Part 1 and Part 2. I will be putting them something similar to this, right? Looks like that. Where you mix Part 1 and Part 2 together. The block that I'm actively working on, oh, that was Part 2. This is Part 1. The block that I'm working on is actually in Part 1. And it's these deer right here. Let's see. There's a lot of floss in this bag. It is prepped and ready. So I'm stitching this on a piece of Silver Fox linen by Fiber on a Whim, 32 count. And I am right here. So as you can see, I have just started, but I'm in the little aspen trees and I've got the border. The border actually matched, hallelujah. And okay, the border looks normal on my end when it's not wrinkled, but we got that. So I think I can finish, well, I know I can finish this block this year, but I would like to get through at least one other block this year. All of these blocks, they stitch fairly quickly. There's a lot of stitching, but they're blocks of color, right? So they're ones that I could do as part of like the 25/7 group, things like that. If I pulled this for 25/7 next month, which I might actually do now that I talk about that, I could probably finish this block in that 1 month because they're just chunks of color, which is a lot easier to stitch if you're only working on it for 25 minutes because you don't have to sit there and change the floss on your needle a whole lot. Next one in the finish album or work on album. I'll call it the focus album. The focus album. This is a huge bag. Okay, this is counted, kind of cross this, Birds of a Feather by Monarch Horizons. This is one, my ex's grandmother, Jewel, she stitched this entire piece. I still own this entire piece and I thought it would be a nice, just a nice gesture to stitch all of these. So I'm stitching the hummingbird side. I chose the same fabric that Jewel stitched or used to stitch the wild birds or the songbirds. And so when they're done, I can frame them and put them side by side and I don't know, we'll do something with those. But here is where I'm at. I'm not going to take it out of the hoop, but I do at least have some progress on this. So I'm at this third hummingbird right here, or fourth hummingbird. Looks like this. And I've been doing the back stitch as I go. So I finish the hummingbird and then I do the back stitch. So when I was working on this piece actively, I was able to get one hummingbird done a month. And I think I just need to put that back in with that goal of one hummingbird a month. So yep, 11 hummingbirds to go. So I will be pulling that one out in February. If I don't put these things at least back in the bag that they came from, it will be an all-out mess to put away after I'm done filming this. So, okay, next up is another large Garan bag here. The Majestic Unicorn. You all have been seeing this piece for literally years since I started my Flosstube channel. It's from the Ultimate Cross Stitch Christmas version in 2015. I started this for my daughter back when she liked unicorns. She doesn't like unicorns anymore. Not that she wouldn't still love this piece, but I will be showing you here towards the end. I have a very small amount of haul, but I'll show you what I'm stitching for my daughter now, or will be starting for my daughter now. It's in the haul. It's not a unicorn, but it will one day look like this. And I am first adventure into full coverage. I am here. So this top section here is done with the back stitch. You can see where I still need a back stitch towards the feet. And then I have the side border and there's a bottom border, bottom chunk. But I actually feel this one's attainable. I feel I can finish this piece this year if I just take the thing out and do it. You know, there's only a little bit of stitching left. It's a lot of stitches, but only a small amount of areas. So of all the full coverage pieces, considering all the rest of them are brand new starts, are basically brand new starts, at least this one has most of it done. And I cannot wait till it is done. What on earth I'm gonna do with it, I don't know. Probably gonna frame it. I'm still gonna give it to my daughter. She'll still love it because I stitched it, but I don't know, it'll go somewhere. All right, next up, another Garon bag, my fox one of my favorites. This is Barbara Anna Designs Funky Bird. It'll go up on the wall. So I am not stitching the alphabet. I really just like the bird on this piece. I like the colors. It's weird looking. It's a good bird for the bird wall. This one should be finished at some point during this next year because there's not a whole lot to it. I am right. Oh, I guess I am stitching the alphabet. See, some of these I haven't pulled out in so long that I forgot what I had even done. But I already have some of the alphabet done, so it looks like I'm stitching some alphabet. I am here. I have the legs to fill in, the alphabet, the bird's head, that flower. I guess I have some wings, so halfway-ish. But these colors are just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And I'm stitching it on the called for everything. I think I purchased this one as a, I purchased the design and then I just asked for Garon to just kit the whole thing up. So that is that. Next one up. This is being held in a beautiful bag that I got from Crafty Cory Stitches from Acorns and Threads. Looks like this. I just love her bags so much. All right, this is Madame Lafie, and don't ask me how to say it, but it's the bird in the garden one. I started this when I was at a cross-stitch retreat, and it hasn't come out since, so I've only gotten a little bit of work done on it. This is on a piece of linen from Bestitch Me in the color Artemis. It's a 36 count, so it is 1/2. And that is just right up here in this top corner. This little circle guy here and a little bit of border is all I have done. I do not expect to finish this next year, but I do expect to work on it. So it is holding a place in my 24. Okay, some of these are such a throwback. Oh my goodness. All right, next one up. This is, it's from Hannah. It was a cross-stitch kit. It's called Split Seconds of Summer Ladybird. Oh, I guess you can call ladybugs ladybirds. I don't know, but looks like this. This was a kit that I was using the floss for, but I did not use the fabric that it came with. Instead, I'm using my own fabric. There we go. And this is a tiny one because I'm stitching it over one. So let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit. Stand by, stand by. It's so tiny. Look at them. So I'm there. I need to do all the back stitching and finish the fluff from the dandelion. And then there is quite a few pin stitches that need to happen. So definitely attainable. I'm actually almost there. There's still some more of this stem and whatnot to go, but it's getting there. It's a little bit washed out looking from the light, but it's really pretty in person. So this is on my finish list. I don't even know what count that is. I'm sure I have the little tag somewhere in here, but it's tiny. I don't do a lot of over one stitching, but that's a little guy there. Next up is a magazine piece. So this is from the World of Cross Stitching, issue number 40. It looks like this. And let's see if I have this piece. I don't have it bookmarked, but let me find it for you real quick. There it is. Okay. It is this one right here with the bright yellow flowers and the bird. And, whew, it's so wrinkly. All right, I am here. So got some of the flowers done, quite a bit of the basket done, the bow. It looks like, hallelujah, I was backstitching as I went, at least on the finished areas. So that is good news, but I am here. And I don't know, I might be able to finish this one. We'll see how the year goes. There's still a lot of stitching to go. So there's a lot of stitching to go. There's all these flowers, all the rest of the flowers in the basket. We've got a bird down here. There's a lot of backstitch because it's a magazine design, and that's the way a lot of them are. So it will be worth it in the end, but I don't know if it'll be finished this next year. But you will see it. Okay, next up. Some of these are I haven't touched them in so long that they're in these older bags that I got from my friend Anne. Anne, who is one of the kindest people there is. She sent me these cross stitch bags that she just got from, Amazon or whatnot. And it was back when I didn't have cross stitch bags. I was not brand new to cross stitch, but I didn't have any of the things, right? I was still using the Ziploc baggies, which I still use to this day, and they're fantastic. But that's what I had, and I was showing them in a video, and I was taking them out of my bags to show you guys what I was working on. And Anne surprised me with my very first cross stitch viewer gift. It was completely out of the blue, and I still use these bags to this day. So thanks again, Anne. Good memory, good memory. All right, this one is housing my Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. This is on the list because I would like to put some work into the Hawk Run Hollow piece. I own, I think, pretty much all of the Hawk Run Hollows. My friend Carolyn, she got really in, she inspired me to do all the Hawk Run Hollows. So, as we do, she started stitching them. She said, stitch them with me. And so I said, okay. So I picked them all up, and I started this one. I have not started the rest of them, but I barely started this one. So this is not going to get done this year. Maybe a block or two will get done. I don't know. I have this huge, giant piece of fabric. Oh, I can't even find my stitching. Oh my gosh. It's like a blanket. Okay, we're there. Okay, I guess I'm here. That is my first block. This is on a piece of S'mores 32 count Lugana by Be Stitch Me. I love this color. This is a beautiful color. And that was the first block, which for me is I'm thinking maybe this house. Maybe? I'm not to figure out which one I was even working on, but I don't know. It's been that long since I've touched it. I do not have it slotted for this month, obviously. That's why I haven't looked at it in a while. And I'm not going to finish all of them by any means. But I will be happy if I can even finish one square. If I finish one square, that would be great. Okay, I have emptied out the basket after this. Then I have a small stack. And then I have a tiny bit of haul. Told you I had a lot of things to show you. All right, this one. Oh, speaking of Anne, I swear I did not put these in order on purpose, but Owl Forest embroidery. And I can't show you the true one I'm gonna be working on because I'm gonna be restarting it. But this is a piece that I started with my friend Anne, and I put it on some fabric that I'm just, it's a struggle. Every time I would pick it up to stitch on it, it was a struggle to use this fabric. Like I was having a hard time counting on it. I couldn't see a lot of the colors that I was stitching. I don't know. Now that I look at it, I love it again. So maybe I won't restart it. Maybe I'll just keep it here. I don't know. But I did purchase some fabric, and I need to get some fray check going. It's not good. So I'll take care of that. But anyway, I picked up some new fabric so I could restart this because I only got this far. But I don't know. I kind of like that again. Also, I'm stitching this one over one, so that's also part of the problem. Is it's just so tiny. So tiny. This was the year that I got really inspired to do a lot of over one stitching, and I did this, the tiny ladybug, and the hark piece that was on silk gauze. That was, maybe one day I'll try that again, but it will not be anytime soon. But I don't know. It was the year of tiny stitching. Okay, that was it. I thought I had another pile, but I didn't. So that is all the pieces that I have pulled that are already WIPs. I have more WIPs, but those are the ones that I put in my 24 and 24 album to work on. I can't add any more WIPs until those are done. I do have new starts because obviously that was not 24. So some of the new starts that I have slotted is my Mira sled, which you will see here very soon. I have a year in stitches by my Victoria sampler, which I'm stitching with my friend Carolyn. Then I have, what is it? Well, I've got a few more actually, but the ones you're gonna see this month that I need to start. The Mirror Sled, a year in stitches. I'm reading my list right here. My Hayed Bitter Half, which you will see here shortly. And then, is it Season's Blessings? Season's Blessings. I have that written down on my list. It must be in this pile here. I put together this list back in like October or November. So it's been a minute since I've looked at this top little corner here. But anyway. Okay, if you're still with me, 1 hour in, I have a tiny bit of haul to show you. So my Christmas gift from my fiance, he helped me kit up a piece that I'm starting with my friend Carolyn. And it was a huge sampler, so I needed to pull all of the floss for it. It's the Remember the Lilies piece. So I got the fabric and all of the floss for that. And then he got me this amazing bag. This is a bag that was sitting in the attic by, I don't know who made them, but it's somebody local who makes these bags for the attic. But I loved it because it has the sparrow. The sparrow is my favorite bird. So it's got the song sparrow on there. The color is just beautiful. It's got this really pretty little dangly zipper pull. It's like cat's eye almost. It's really pretty there. And then I haven't taken this out of the packaging yet, but it also comes with this little like needle keep booklet that's got some counting pins, a needle minder, and it's like some little teeny tiny little scissors right there. Or maybe they just look like scissors. Are those real? I don't know. Decoration? Not sure. We'll see once I get it opened up. But I got this for Christmas and I just love it. I can't wait to put a new project in there. here, yes, this was Season's Blessings. So Season's Blessings is by Lila's Studio, and this was the only designer that I didn't own something by that I really like loved their pieces. And there's some really nice birds. So I have Winter kitted up. So I have this one as a new start at some point this month. Then we do a reach here. So at either Michael's or Hobby Lobby, they were on sale back in November. I got 3 frames just to help me with my FFOs. So I got this one. It's really cute. I get really excited every time I find a circle frame because either circles or squares. Obviously I can find rectangles all over the place, but circles and squares are hard to find. I look at Goodwill and things like that for the most part. But this one with the coupon it being on sale, and it was a circle. It's super cute with a little snowflake. This baby is adorable, but I don't know who you are, so it'll be replaced by some type of cross stitch. I also got this frame because I just loved the plaid. Super cute. Again, adorable. Don't know you. Getting replaced. Then this one is another Christmas frame, and it's got like the little the pop out trees, you know, kind of like a shadow box. But I like the color of the wood. I love the trees and the shadow box look. Also, I think I have quite a few things that can fit in this little square here. So they will just go in my stash of frames to one day be filled with great things. The piece that I mentioned for my daughter. So I showed this in my last video. This is Kathy Barrick's, the BR moth. This guy here. This is my daughter, one of my daughter's favorite. I can't really call it a bug. One of her favorite moths. My daughter is a huge bug person. She actually got a tarantula for Christmas. It's at her dad's house because that's definitely more of a her and her dad shared hobby than my own. I don't mind them. I just don't, I like them outside. That's all. So, but anyway, she has a tarantula and she also loves moths. So we have this. I couldn't find fabric that I liked more than what's shown on here. So I picked up a piece of the called for fabric. It's a huge piece because that's what they had. I just got this off of 123 Stitch, but it's a really pretty like mustardy deep brown. It looks a little different than it does on the photo because that's usually what happens, right? But when I laid the floss up against it, it's just beautiful. And I didn't have anything in my stash anywhere near this. So after I finish the moth, then I will also have half of this piece to save for something else in the future. And then last but not least in my haul. So as I mentioned, I'm doing Stitch from Stash. So I have a lot of floss. Like I was part of Floss of the Month clubs for probably 2 years straight, maybe 3, but at least 2 years straight. So I was getting at least one set of floss, if not 2 or 3 at any given time for 24 months-ish. So that means I have a lot of specialty floss. When I get a piece and I'm kitting it up, I usually do the called for. So I'm not using my specialty floss. Now, sometimes I like to do conversions and all of that, of course, but for the most part, I'm using called for. So part of Stitch from Stash, right? If I don't have the called for, I need to be able to sub something in. And on pieces that are really nice, I would like to use some of my specialty floss. So I finally splurged and I picked up one of these. This is the DMC, it's the color cards, right? And it's really fancy. I was not expecting to love this so much, but it's really fancy. Look at this. When you open it, it has all the colors and it's like actual floss. It's like Christmas in a book. It just keeps going. It's too big for me. It's this big. Like huge. Oh, and it also has, what does it have down here? Like some specialties. I can't even reach them all. like all the way down here. So yes, so the idea behind this, right? Now, as I'm trying to stitch from stash, if the pattern calls for DMC 761, if I don't have DMC 761, I can open up my book and say, oh look, DMC 761 looks like this. What do I have in my stash that's something similar to that? It's much easier. I used to do, like I would have to get my phone, right, and just go on Google and type in DMC 761 and try to compare my photo with what I had on hand. Number one, it took forever. Number two, this is way better. And it's really pretty. So this is one of my new favorite things. If you don't own one of these, I suggest picking one up, especially if you're doing a stitch from stash or when you do conversions. Because for me, I don't have all the DMC numbers memorized, and if I'm just going off of a list and not a picture, it's nice to be able to say, I need a pink, I need a blue, I need a green, yada yada. So I love this. Okay, that was an hour and 5-minute video. I went over goals. It was a little bit sporadic. That's okay. Flosstube, I'm excited. I really want to be on here twice a month, minimum of twice a month. So that is my goal. Carolyn, Candy, all of the people that I speak with, and all the different cross stitch friends. If you do not see me on here in 2 weeks, you have permission to text me. Say, make a video. But so that's my goal. Every 2 weeks. That's how I started way back in the day, was every 2 weeks. It got to the point where I could do it every week because I was stitching enough to have things to show you. And so maybe that will happen again. I don't know. But the important thing is I'm on here. It's the new year. Hopefully everyone is safe and happy and is looking forward to a year of stitching like I am. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. So bye all, happy stitching, and see you in 2-ish weeks.